Hi guys, so currently I'm in the middle of a snowstorm right now. So pretty much I'm trapped inside the house. I'm not trapped inside the house, but there's no way that I'm driving outside on this. Let me just show you out my window. Let me just show you what Michigan looks like on December 11th. Yep. That's the situation we have going. So today I wanted to film my foundation routine for you guys. I really wanted to film this because my foundation routine is probably going to be way different than what you see on Instagram and YouTube and stuff like that these days. A lot of what I see on YouTube and Instagram really drives me crazy. It's like all these beautiful girls with beautiful skin that put on full coverage foundation and full coverage concealer and set it all with a full coverage powder. And I'm like, but your skin was perfect in the first place. For those of you that don't know, outside of just playing with makeup on camera and on Instagram and stuff like that, I actually do work in a salon. I am a makeup artist. I did go to school for makeup. So I wanted to share something a little different with you guys so you can see that not everybody who likes makeup puts on 18,000 layers of full coverage everything. I tried to take the skin softening effect off my camera, but it still looks like it is. So I'm gonna let you guys get in close and really see everything about my skin. I do have pretty decent skin. My only problem area is gonna be these guys. I hate my under eyes so much. That's what makeup is for. So if I get closer, you can see that skin softening is kind of taken off a little bit. I just have freckles. That's the only thing I have, and like black under my eyes. No, they're not that bad, but I do hate my under eyes. So my favorite foundation in the whole entire world is Maybelline Fit Me, so much that I have 4 colors. I do self-tan sometimes, and so if you're a self-tanner, you know that your skin color changes like daily, so I have pretty much all the bases covered. I think I'm gonna use the color 210 today. And by the way, this is the dewy and smooth version. I do have very dry skin, and this is my favorite foundation of all time. I love the coverage. It has very light coverage. You can still see my skin, and it just kind of evens everything else. This foundation does not have a pump, so I just kind of put my finger on the top and shake it up, and then there's some foundation on my finger. And I have like a little system that I do. I do 1 stripe on each cheek, and then I'll do like a stripe on the forehead, and then I'll do a little one down the nose. I always make sure to hit right here really good because I have veins underneath my nose, which is totally normal, but I like to give them as much foundation as possible. It's a very scientific way to do this. This is the Morphe Beauty Sponge. I've talked about this before, and I'm just gonna use that to blend all this out. So you can see that you can definitely still see my freckles coming through. I don't like to cover my freckles. You can't see them now. I took the skin softening setting off and it still wants to soften my skin. I appreciate it, Sony, but seriously, I want to show the people my imperfections. It makes me so sad when girls try to cover up their freckles. I think they're so cute, and for me, I feel like it's it's my face. When you can't see my freckles through my foundation, I feel like I don't look like myself. I look super caked and everything. And fake freckles is like a trend right now, and you have real ones and you're gonna cover them up. To me, I don't understand them. There's so many people that wish they had freckles, and here all the girls with the freckles are covering them up. It's crazy. So next I'm gonna go in with concealer. In my favorites video, I did talk about my Bye Bye Under Eye by IT Cosmetics. I'm not going to be using that today. I did mention this in my favorites video that I still am kind of like in a love-hate relationship with it a little bit. Recently, I've kind of gone back to my Tarte Shape Tape concealer. My only problem with this concealer is that it's so dry under my eyes. For normal people, it's probably not, but I am a very, very, very dry person. This is super, super full coverage, so I'm just going to put a line here and like a dot there, and a line here and a little dot there. And I'm gonna take the same sponge again and just start to blend it out. A sponge is like the only way that I will do concealer, especially because I'm so dry. It helps get some extra moisture into my skin. Here's what the concealer looks like. You can probably see how dry my eyes are, like right in here. And I did put on eye cream before this too. And this is just how my eyes look. Even with concealer on, they're still like, still got the bags going and all that good stuff. Eyes are cool. So next I'm going to set under my eyes. I tried a bunch of different translucent powders and I find that just what works best for me is gonna be a pressed powder. I have two that I like to use, one being the Maybelline Fit Me powder. I just really like the Maybelline Fit Me line, it's really good. This is what I use the majority of the time. And if I feel like after I put on my concealer that I still look a little dark in this area, I will go in with the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette and use either of these two colors. I really like this one for under the eyes because it does have a little bit of pink to it, where this one's more yellow. I don't like very yellow powders or concealers for that matter underneath the eyes. I feel like it makes you look sick, and any sort of like pinky peachy tone is gonna help correct the darkness under your eyes. I have two brushes that I will use under the eyes. They're the same, they're just different brands. This is Sigma Tapered Highlighter, and I also have the Morphe one, which is the M438. So I'm gonna use the Maybelline powder today. And I always try to tap underneath my eyes instead of rub, so I don't move around any of that product, because especially under my eyes, I really need that product to stay there. I do prefer a dewier foundation, especially because I have dry skin. I like to look as oily as possible, which is why I love the Maybelline foundation. It doesn't make me look oily, but it never makes me look really dry. It does, like, I don't have that problem right now because my skin's literally so dry because I'm living in a tundra currently. Most of the time it stays a little tacky on my face, just a little bit. So then when you like heavily set under the eyes and then your foundation's sticky, like everything that on the cheek just blends out terribly. So I always set my face just very lightly, and I love to use this too, which is, I still use the Maybelline powder all over my face. I love this powder because it doesn't really change the look of my foundation. It does set it so it's not tacky, but it still looks just as dewy. My favorite brush to use is this Real Techniques. This is a duo fiber face brush. This came in a set with 3 different duo fiber brushes. This brush is like so flimsy and doesn't have a lot of density to it, and that is why I love it for my face, because it just puts the like sheerest amount of powder, just enough to set it, but again, keeping the dewy. It really just hit my cheeks and my forehead. Pretty much anywhere I'm gonna be putting the bronzer, just so it blends out nicely. As of lately, the only bronzer I will use is the Tarte Park Avenue Princess. This is the matte one too. I believe they have a shimmery one. It is the best. Every time I try to switch it up and use other bronzers that I had that I loved before, this bronzer is just awesome. I can only use it with this Morphe M527. This is really similar to a MAC brush, I believe. I don't know the number of it, but every time I try to use a smaller brush now, I don't like the way my bronzer looks. I literally just cover the brush in bronzer. I don't really do heavy contour anymore. I just don't find it necessary. I don't think it looks natural. So I've really just been sticking to using the bronzer. And I've just been loving the way it looks. So I really just hit like that. And then if you want to, you can do a little here too. I don't really care to drag my makeup down my neck because like at the end of the night when I wash my face, I don't want to have to worry about washing my neck too because I'm lazy. Sorry if the lighting is changing a little bit. It's getting darker outside and I had to brighten up my desk light, which is not my favorite light to use because it is really warm. For highlight, my number one favorite highlight of my whole life is Becca Champagne Pop with Jaclyn Hill. It's amazing. And sometimes I like to double up and put the liquid on too. I will put the liquid on today so you can see. I don't always do this. So I always just put a little on the back of my hand, and I'll just take the Morphe sponge again and put it on my cheeks. And yeah, I put it right over the powder because I really don't think that putting a liquid over a powder is that big of a deal. One thing you should know about me is that I put highlighter all over my face every day because, in case you didn't catch the trend here, I'm freaking dry as heck. If someone came up to me and said, "Wow, Morgan, you look really oily today," I think I would be so happy that I might shed a tear. So I'm just gonna put the powder over top with this Morphe fan brush. Talked about this in my favorites video as well. And it's just been good to me. This brush hasn't failed me yet. Oh girl. And again, I'm gonna cover my face in it. Let me tell you something I don't like. People smothering highlighter all over their upper lip and it looks like they have a milk stash. It's not cute. You can strategically place it right at the top of your Cupid's bow, but other than that, relax on the upper lip highlighter, guys. While we're here, we might as well just do a little bit of this too. Just literally, if you think you have enough highlighter on, add more. And then I almost always, because I do put on my bronzer with such a, I mean, oh my gosh, that highlight, girl, that's crazy. Relax. Because I do put on my bronzer with such a big brush, I do get a little sloppy sometimes. So I almost always clean it up with this color from the Kat Von D Shade Light palette and just that tapered highlighter brush again. And I'll put it under here. The point of contouring and reshaping your face is to make everything look perky and high up. You want to look like, you know, lifted. Also, you guys might have noticed that I didn't use a primer. I should have talked about that in the beginning, but honestly, I kind of forgot. I don't think primers are super necessary unless you're trying to do a couple things like filling pores or controlling oil or maybe adding like a glow first. And I know that some people might feel differently. I don't have a big issue with my makeup lasting a long time. Okay guys, so that concludes this video. I hope that you enjoyed it and I hope that you learned something cool and hopefully I inspire you to wear less makeup. Because honestly, I would love to do that. Makeup is so fun and cool and so fun to play with and makes you feel really good. But I think that people these days spend way too much time trying to make themselves look like a different person. And I say, embrace your face, but cover your dark circles. That's like a happy medium, right? Does that make sense? Do you guys understand my point? Life lessons with Morgan. Cover your dark circles. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say be yourself, but make yourself also feel good about yourself. If contouring your whole entire face and everything to look like a Kardashian makes you feel good, then I say freaking do it. But I say that also, if you follow people on Instagram that do that and you feel like you need to do that, don't do it. Don't do anything you don't want to do. I'm just getting really inspirational about foundation today. This isn't valuable life lessons. But seriously, I hope you guys learned something cool today. I want everybody to comment down below and let me know your favorite face products because I would genuinely want to know. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe for more, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.